focus on this half a year, 6 months, nothing but shoot. When I came back the next summer, I was a little bit, I scored. Yeah, it wasn't much, right? But I scored 12, 13. Then 14 came around, back half of 13, 14 years old. And then I was just killing everyone. What I had to do was work on the basics and the fundamentals. But they relied on their athleticism and their natural ability. And because I stick to the fundamentals, it just caught up to them. And then my body, my knees stopped hurting. I grew into my frame, and then it was game.
Wow. Now, were you always competitive from the day you were born? You were super competitive?
Competitive with things that I participate in. So I'll put it to you this way. So basketball for me was the most important thing. So everything I saw, whether it was TV shows, whether it was books I read, people I talked to, everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft. So at 13 years old, I had a kill list. And so, they used to do these rankings, Street and Smith basketball rankings. And I was nowhere to be found because I was like 6'4", scrawny, like 160 pounds, soaking wet. So I was like 57 on the list. And so I will look at 56, 55, all the way up to number 1, who these players are. I got to hunt them down, right? And so that became my mission in high school, is to check off every other person, all those 56 other names, hunt them down and knock them down. So I would size you up and see what your strengths and weaknesses are. How do you approach the game? Are you silly about it? Are you goofy about it? Are you good at it just because you're bigger and stronger than everybody else? Right? Or is there actually thought and skill that you put into it? Right? And when I play to my weaknesses. I always work on the things during those games that I was weak at. Left hand, pull up jump shot, post game. Right? So I have a strategy.
Yeah. What was really your work ethic like, and for how long did you stay disciplined?
I mean, every day. I mean, since 20 years. It was an everyday process and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses. For example, jumping ability. Now, my vertical was a 40, it wasn't a 46 or 45. My hands are big, but they're not massive. Right? So you got to figure out ways to strengthen them so your hands are strong enough to be able to palm a ball and do the things that you need to do. Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast. Right? So I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. And but I enjoyed it though. So like from the time I can remember when I started watching the game, I studied the game and it just never changed.
Well, what does losing feel like to you?
It's exciting because it means you have different ways to get better. There's certain things that you can figure out that you can take advantage of, right? Certain weaknesses that were exposed that you need to shore up. But the hardest thing is to face that stuff. You got to look at the reality of the situation. Like for me, it's not, you kind of got to get over yourself, right? And then after that, it's okay, well, why did those air balls happen? Got it. I didn't have the legs. So I look at it with rationale. Say, okay, well, the reason why I shot air balls is because my legs aren't there. I go, well, next year they'll be there. Right? I got to get stronger. You have to do the hard stuff and watch that game and study that game to not make those mistakes over and over again. You got to deal with it. Got to deal with it. Face it, learn from it. It sucks to lose.
Right.
You don't want to have that feeling again, do you? Right? So you got to really study it, face it. And not to say you'll win the next time you face, but at least you'll give yourself a better chance.
Yeah.
It's an obsessiveness that comes along with it. You want things to be as perfect as they can be, understanding that nothing is ever perfect. But the challenge is trying to get them as perfect as they can be. And what can you do? It's in your control. So control you.
What's going on, family? Welcome to episode 176 of Coffee and Crypto. VO here, Vincent Owens, and it's another beautiful day. If you guys hear a background in the back, no, nobody is breaking in the studio. We got some renovations being done right now to make the place even greater than what it is. So if you hear some noise through this episode, I apologize for the extra noise, but we can't stop the people from working. So with that being said, just sit back. We're going to get started in the next like 2 to 3 minutes. I want to allow some more people to hop onto the Zoom link and then also onto our YouTube and onto Instagram. If you're on IG, I'm telling you, today's call is worth you sticking around because we're going to really dive into what's going on with Bitcoin, you know, and how you need to protect yourself moving forward. And also, what are some different tools, resources out there that can help you through this journey? We're going to provide all of that today in today's episode. We see the numbers growing. If you guys love the show, please send this to the group chats that you would love to share this in. Please share this inside of our Discord if you're a part of the private Coffee and Crypto Discord community. Hopefully you've been watching because we've been making money, multiple streams of income. And if you're about that, go ahead and share this link out and just share the love. We appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll be right back.
I don't know if that's what you call the Mamba mindset, but how did you develop that? And when did it start?
It started in middle school and high school. Because a lot of the kids that I was playing against were inner city kids. And so they're looking at me as if, okay, this kid's soft. They felt like they could try to be physical or try to intimidate me and do all sorts of stuff, which they couldn't, right? Trying to attack me, how am I going to attack you? How can I mentally figure out ways to break you down? How can I show you that, no, I have the edge?
And what would you do to mentally break people down then?
One of the things I would do is while everybody would be at the cafeteria work, you know, eating and doing all sorts of stuff, I just go back to the gym. So that was my way of showing them, you're not going to outwork me.
Wow.
I see a lot of players take vacations with other players that are close friends. And they'll just take vacations just to take vacations or just hang out, just to hang out. Like I never did that.
Why not? Why didn't you do that?
Well, because when I retire, I didn't want to have to say, I wish I would have done more. I don't want that. I play games with the flu. I play games with 102-degree fever, man. We had a game against Toronto in 2000. And Vince was tearing the league up. My back was jacked. So I would be in the layup line like, okay, there's a lot of days where, you know, you can rest and recover. Today ain't one of them. Your back can bother you any other day. That ain't bothering me today. He gonna have to see me today.
You're playing against the Golden State Warriors. You're about to take your shot, and then all of a sudden, boom, Achilles happens. Friend of mine, Nima, he says, I have no clue how the hell this guy did it. He went and hit the free throws, and then you walked off the stage. How the hell did you tolerate that kind of pain?
You know,
All right, let's get to this money. Welcome to Coffee and Crypto, episode 176. We are rolling and on our way to 200 episodes. Tell a friend that this is the place you want to be every Tuesday and Thursday morning, starting at 10 a.m. I appreciate everybody for being early, on time, and ready to bring in this information. If you guys can hear me just fine, drop some coffee in the chat box and light me up on every single platform. I'm looking everywhere right now. Let me check out IG real quick to make sure that we are good to go. Definitely appreciate, IG is deep right now. Appreciate Instagram for being deep. Appreciate YouTube. Let me go over to YouTube. I already know the YouTube fam going crazy. You know what I mean? It happens each and every single week. You know, I'm just grateful that you all enjoy this information. Shout out to everybody. Yo, shout out to TJ. I got a special shout out to TJ Patterson. He put some money in my pocket over the last couple of days. You know what I mean? So shout out to my boy TJ, a part of the Coffee and Crypto Discord community. You know what I mean? I told you all when you come in, it's not just about me calling plays, but there's other people that's going to call plays. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of playmakers coming into the group, like for real, like it's the right people, right? And so just by being in there, you know, I woke up to an extra $500 this morning, you know what I mean, off of one play. You know what I mean? And we got other plays because the crypto is going up right now. So I don't want to talk about all the money that we're making because that don't matter. You know what I mean? What really matters is that we're learning a skill that someone can't take from us. We're learning something. It's like riding a bike. It's like learning how to swim. You know what I mean? Once you get going, once you start going, right? Once you start stroking, you don't know how to stop. You just keep going. You just love the water. You start going deeper and deeper into the ocean. You know what I mean? Until them waves start to hit you and bring you back, right? So understand that every time this life is just like the ocean. You know what I mean? Life is just like the ocean. You just got to ride the wave sometimes. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to ride the wave. You got to push and you got to ride the wave. Yo, go ahead and drop some coffee again in the chat box and let's light it up, because the first thing that I got to share with y'all is this quote right here. Until you can manage your emotions, don't expect to manage money. Woo! Hold on now. Until you can learn to manage your emotions, don't expect to be able to manage money. Look, some of y'all I'm talking to right now. You know what I mean? I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to learn how to manage my emotions. My emotions sometimes get me into it. You know what I mean? But again, emotions is just like the ocean. Sometimes you just gotta, hey, sometimes when you know you're going off deep, that wave gonna bring you back. Sometimes you just gotta ride the wave to come back, right? So until you learn how to manage your emotions, don't think you can manage that crypto portfolio. Don't think you can manage your paycheck at work. Don't think you can manage that side hustle money. Don't think you can manage anything financially if your emotional intelligence. See, a lot of people have this screwed, right? A lot of people have it screwed. I want to make sure, are we still good? Can YouTube still, if you're on YouTube, because it looked like mine paused. So if you're on YouTube right now, you can still hear me. Just drop something in the chat box so I can know. Okay. However, and again, I'm sorry about the noise in the back, but can't stop the guys from working. I think YouTube may be frozen. Oh, we good? All right, cool. YouTube is in the building. All right. So with that being said, y'all, the battle itself is not this battle of investing. It is not about it's not about the physical space in this, right? This battle of investing is not about how much money I can put into crypto. That's the easy part. Clicking the button, learn how to use the app. How many of you all would say that that's the simple part? Like it may be a little harder for some, but the app's not hard. The user interface is so much better than 2018 when I first started. The user interface for most of these exchanges is very simple and straightforward and straight to the punch, which is great for retail investors. Okay. However, what you got to remember is that the majority of this battle truly is mental. It truly is spiritual. It truly is emotional intelligence, right? And becoming better and better. No, you cannot be perfect. No, you're not going to get good overnight. No, it's a process, but you got to trust the process. If you trust the process, drop I trust the process in the chat box all over the world right now. And let's get this money. Today's call is going to be extremely bullish. You want to make sure you pay attention. All right. We had to start right at 10:10 a.m., 10:11 a.m. to make sure that we can get all the sauce in. But the first thing I want to play is a commercial that is geared toward retail investors from Coinbase. If you all haven't noticed, Coinbase has been going absolutely crazy with their promotion to retail investors.
Being on the penny used to mean something. It was worthy compensation for thoughts. But now it's useless fodder for petty wishes tossed out like common garbage 120 million times a year, even though it's still technically money. It's tortured, humiliated, forgotten. The currency of choice for paying people back with spite. This is $50, by the way. Get me off this piece of scrap metal. Let me digital. Let me soar. Imagine me actually paying for stuff amongst the people again, instantly traveling the globe without fees or friction. Old Abe just wants to be good at being money again. Is that too much to ask for an old top-hatted dreamer?
All right. So that commercial was very interesting to me. All right. Personally, it was pretty interesting. I don't know if y'all could actually see the screen. Did y'all see the screen? I hope y'all did. But the commercial was just kind of it was kind of funny to me, right? Hopefully y'all saw the screen. All right, perfect. I know y'all let me know if y'all couldn't. But it was just a very interesting commercial, right? Because those penny, exactly, exactly, Brother Brown, exactly, Vic. Like poor pennies, right? That like one day we're gonna like these pennies are gonna be up in somebody's bathroom in your like those high-end like boutique hotels. I could see it today. Or in a boutique hotel a bunch of quarters, a bunch of pennies, worthless, not worth anything anymore, right? Shoot, remember now, bartering has been a system. Think about it now. Bartering has been a system, and the system of bartering changes over time. It's time for a change. Now, check this out. There was a time, do you all remember? And I don't think I'm making this up, but one of the bartering systems from back in the day actually was shells. People used to barter seashells and stuff like that, right? Things from the ocean. People used to barter those things. You can still barter those, maybe, you know, for somebody who's a seashell fanatic. But I'm going somewhere with that, right? Where you got to understand that if seashells was a form of currency at one point and pennies are a form of currency, think about it. People walk all over seashells in the sand. People walk all over pennies in the street. But you know what they don't walk over? They don't walk over their phone. People, we ain't got there yet where people just walking over their phone like, oh, every day. No, you see a phone, you're going to pick that thing up. But you see a penny, you don't have the same level of respect. Touche? You don't have the same level of respect, right? So I want to talk about right now, I want to dive into, I want to take the time to dive into, my bad. I want to take the time to dive into the market cycle, the psychology of a market cycle, right? What does that mean? Okay. And I want you all to realize where you are today or where we are today in this particular market cycle. Okay. So the market cycle begins after it goes down, right? The market goes down and you get into what's called, this lower area, and then you come out of disbelief and you finally come into hope. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to actually see if I can pull up the total crypto market, and let's pull it up on the weekly. Let's pull it up on the weekly scale and let's take a look. Oh my God. Hey, I didn't make this up. I ain't photoshopped this. I did not Photoshop this. Watch this now. Let's follow it. Look at this. The same triple top at the top. Drop a 7 if you see it. The same type of triple top right at the top. This could have been the monthly chart. Who knows what we're looking at? But at the end of the day, you see that right there? So let's follow this. So we've moved into hope, optimism, belief. This is when the news is feeding you. This is when the news starts to feed you all the sweet things that you want to hear that make the decision to get invested in the market. Okay, so pay attention to where we are right now. Matter of fact, I'm sorry to my class, but I gotta delete these real quick. We'll draw all this up here in a second. We'll draw it back in a second, okay? But I want y'all to just pay attention to this real quick. Y'all see how I told you all we get into hope. If you go back to hope, right? Hope is this rise up to euphoria. If we look in the past and we look at the last bit of hope that was had, right? It was right here. And then what happened? We started to go, that was in 2017. We started to go to belief, thrill, euphoria. Can you find it? Belief, thrill, euphoria. Then what happens? You get to the top and you're at complacency because a little pullback happened. See, when you have a big run up like this, a little pullback is supposed to happen. A little pullback is natural. There's nothing wrong with a little pullback, right? But people get scared when this little pullback, y'all see that little pullback right there? That ain't nothing but a little baby shark. And then what happened? It retested, which is what it was going to do anyway, and it comes on down. But if you pay attention to people's emotions, think about how many people were not plugged into crypto in the time that you was plugged in because they was anxious, right? They need some damn CBD. Matter of fact, I got a store for you. I'll drop my virtual dispensary so you can go get you. Because listen, there is a direct correlation between cannabinoids, right, and anxiety, CBD and anxiety. So if you got high anxiety in times where it's going down, you need to be shopping on my store. You see how it goes together? Denial. People be in denial. People be in panic. People be angry, depressed. Think about it. Let's go look at the market. Angry. How many people was angry when Bitcoin, when the crypto market dropped below $1 trillion? Angry, depressed. They left you in that state of anger and depression from May 2022 to October 2023. They don't give a dang about you and your emotions. We held through this. We surfed the storm. So what we're about to experience, going back into hope, is we're about to experience another level of euphoria. And we're going to go past 2.99 trillion. It's already done. I hope y'all with me right now. I hope y'all paying attention right now. That was a real gem. So let's go pay attention to the crypto market right quick. Okay. We're up to $1.85 trillion. Okay. So the market is moving. Bitcoin, I believe it hit 50,000, went over 50,000. Now we have a pullback, up 12.88% right now in the last 7 days. Bitcoin bullish, everything bullish besides what? You guessed it right. You guessed it right. XRP. So do we still hold? Do we give up on what we know is already happening? Well, I mean, look, I won't tell you what to do. I'll let you watch the rest of this show. And as this show unfolds, today I'm going to show you why I said XRP for president on the caption. It's XRP for president, y'all. Like, that's who's running president in my life. XRP. Because it's an excellent retirement plan, right? It's also, it was another one I had, y'all. I can't remember. What was it? Y'all let me know. Who remembers the other one? Who remembers the other one? It was excellent. It was something. It was something. I had another one that I had. I lost it. It'll come back to me, right? But shout out to TJ. Okay, I told y'all we're gonna shout out TJ. What up, Sana? I told you we're gonna shout out TJ today. We had a penny. Let's go. Yes, sir. That bad boy is not stopping. Woo! You see how my energy was, y'all. I'm just like these people up here. I got euphoria. I'm a genius. Hey, we're getting rich. I'm a genius. That's how my boy TJ got me feeling right now. Okay, that's how my boy TJ got me feeling right now. Extremely. Yep. No, it was a different one. That's Noit stuff. I came up with a different one. That's Noit stuff. Solo, you got to tap in more. You know what I mean? That's Noit's quotes. I had dropped another one that I can't remember. It was like extremely right price. It was something like that, man. That thing was crazy, y'all. It was crazy when I said it too. Hey, the crowd went crazy. Everybody gave a standing ovation. I can go back and show y'all too, because I got the archives. Okay. Now, Stronghold. We're at a penny. All right. If we look at this on the monthly, okay. Look. We was talking about Stronghold. We was talking about Stronghold back here, right? I mean, even before that, but when it was like 0.003, right? So we've been accumulating that in July. I told everybody that was my personal plan, was to accumulate some Stronghold. Accumulated a good amount of it. I'm happy about that. And now we're at a penny. So that's the value. I'm saying, and staying plugged in. If you're in the Discord group, hopefully you didn't pay your $100 and haven't checked it in a couple, in like a week or something like that, because you really did miss out on a lot of money. If I can just be real with you guys are missing out. Helium Mobile has been going crazy. We're about, I think I'm about 25,000 coins away from 100,000 tokens for free, which I told you all is my goal. After that, we're not going to talk about Helium Mobile no more. We're going to move on to the next thing, because, if you're following us, you know what I'm saying, then you definitely is accumulating, you know what I mean? And you're getting your cell phone bill paid at the end of the day. Your cell phone bill is getting paid, which is also extremely dope, because a lot of people's cell phone bills are absolutely crazy for unlimited everything. And over here at Helium Mobile, you got the ability to get that, right? So, right now it's at 0.002, same space and place that we told you all to buy Stronghold at. Okay, except I had to buy Stronghold. I'm earning this for free. Now, quite a few things. I wanted to really cover the market. That was really one of my main goals. But I do have a video that I want to share from. It's very important, from Christina Georgieva of the IMF. the 2024 World Governments Summit in Dubai is taking place, or it just finished, but it just took place. So this is literally from yesterday. So I believe it's still probably going on, right? They're probably still out in Dubai going crazy. But pay attention to some of the things she talks about within AI and just the future.
More from the leadership here, let me say what a fantastic foresight the Emirates had to establish Ministry for Artificial Intelligence in 2017, when most of the world was completely asleep on the switch.
All right. Oh, hang on. Not so fast. Not so fast. What do they need to do now?
Uh, well, what they would need to do now is bring the rest of the world with you. And being a generous nation, invest in emerging markets, in developing economies to help them leapfrog. If we get more nations ready to benefit from this technology, but also manage its negative potential consequences, misinformation, disinformation, the more we do for others, the better off you also will be.
But which is the greater risk? Is it the economic issues, jobs, restructuring of industries, or the misinformation and disinformation, or am I making a false parallel?
You are touching on the two greatest risks if we don't approach artificial intelligence responsibly. The first is indeed not benefiting from artificial intelligence to lift up everybody. More inequality, if it comes from it, would be devastating for our future. Both more inequality within countries and inequality across countries. And then you have the potential of artificial intelligence to create a parallel universe of lies and misconceptions. And again, we have to act responsibly. So let me change my message to UAE. Lead the world in responsible, humanity-serving adoption of artificial intelligence.
Not so fast. All right. Are you excited by AI? Are you frightened by it? Because you've seen the papers that tell you if we get this wrong, we are. So thank you. So are you excited? Are you frightened? And how do you stay on top of it?
I'm excited and a little bit frightened, but I'm an optimist. And I want to tell you a very interesting story. In 19...
Okay. All right, y'all. This was the part right here that messed me up. Drop some coffee real quick and let me know y'all awake. This is the part right here that really messed me up, y'all. I was like, I was brushing my teeth this morning, listening to this, getting prepared for y'all. And I was like, hold up. So, question. What is the World Economic Forum's date that they are looking to go green or at least get that initiative really rolling off the ground? What is that date, y'all? Thank you. 2030. Now, pay attention to what she says in this clip.
Tell you a very interesting story. In 1930, last century, John Maynard Keynes wrote an essay, Economic Possibilities for Our Grandchildren. And in this essay, he projected, and that, by the way, happens in the midst of depression before the Second World War. In this essay, he predicts that 100 years down, the world would be richer, it would be better off. And he says the following: we need to stop the pessimists among us from poisoning our expectations for our grandchildren. The revolutionary pessimists who say everything is so bad, we need to destroy it. And the reactionary pessimists that say it is so precarious, don't touch a thing. So as an optimist, we have to change the world responsibly.
Are you
I'm gonna stop it right there. Wow. I don't know if y'all caught that, but literally on the date that they have planned, 2030, this article written by, I got to go back and hear his name again and look it up, right? I did not look that up yet, but the article by this guy, y'all, 1930, he predicted in 100 years. And here we go in 100 years. And right before the 100 years happen, you see all these advances. Boom, 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 boom. Everything's for a reason. This is not made up stuff. John Maynard Keyes, appreciate you. Okay. John Maynard Keyes. Okay. This rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper for me, y'all. But I got the time. Now, let's go back. Bitcoin breaks $50,000 for the first time in over 2 years due to the ETFs. But was it because of just the ETFs? No, because President Biden and President Trump, they're both taking a stance on crypto right now. And you all saw, I'm sure you all saw the picture. I didn't pull it up, but if you didn't, go look it up on Google, but or go to President Biden's Twitter, and I believe it was up there, and he had himself with those red lights and looked just like the Bitwise, I believe it was Bitwise ETF, or no, it wasn't Bitwise. I think that was it Grayscale? It was one of them. But yeah, so I show that to share that Wall Street, this is the headline for CNBC. Wall Street ETFs are buying 12.5 times more Bitcoin per day than the network can produce, increasing the demand and price. Okay, let's go back to our article. Okay, it was actually, let's go ahead and let's pull that let's pull this up here so that I can switch back and forth simultaneously. Okay, so here it is. So Wall Street ETFs are buying 12.5 times more Bitcoin per day. Okay, remember, y'all, we are on our way up, right? So optimism, this rally is real. They hear the news. Belief, time to get fully invested. Thrill, I will buy more on margin. Got to tell everyone to buy, right? So think about it. This is where we are headed. And we have headlines like this in the news over the Bitcoin ETF. And we have other even bigger news. But the thing about it is the news that they want the masses to hear is the Bitcoin news, right? Is the Bitcoin craze, is the ETF. So you got to remember, that's the agenda. So don't get psyched out by that particular agenda. Not saying you can't make money in that agenda, but there's a reason why they push that agenda. And then eventually they'll push the next level of crypto ETFs. But at that point, it may be a little too late to get in at these types of prices, right? So hear me out. Hear me out. So I told you all 2-3 years ago at the beginning of Coffee and Crypto, like episode 1, we talked about how they are giving this industry over to Wall Street, right? The Wall Street is taking over this industry, at least Bitcoin, right? To start out with. Okay. If they're producing, right? If they're producing, if they are demanding 12.5 times more than the network can produce, then what do you think could happen to the network? Question. What do you think can happen if they are demanding 12.5 times more Bitcoin per day than the network can produce, meaning there aren't even enough miners and the mining rewards are going down, meaning don't nobody want to make less Bitcoin, so there's going to become less and less and less miners over time. So what do you think could potentially happen to Bitcoin? I'll let you guess.
The approval actually, or the lack thereof, of a Bitcoin spot ETF in the United States. When you think about what wealthy clients invest in, when you think about the future of wealth management, do you think Bitcoin is a suitable investment?
I've never been, I've never really understood the value of Bitcoin as a form of stored value. Others have, and others have made a lot of money on it. I joked once, I wish I bought it at $60, and I'm glad I didn't buy it at 60,000. It's clearly speculative. I think it should play for wealthy people a very small role in their financial fabric because it's so speculative, it's so volatile. And again, it's going through enormous regulatory change and industry disruption. We've seen with some classic failures of late. So listen, Bitcoin's not going away. It's not a fad. I just don't think it's a core investment. I think it's a speculative asset of which there are plenty of choices.
The approval actually.
All right. So let's keep pushing forward. Okay. Let's keep pushing forward. I'm working on something here. Now let's go over to the same space, the same forum that we just heard from. Okay. And this is the World Governments Forum again in Dubai. Okay. You got Standard Chartered Bank and Bank of America from gold to code, the next frontiers of banking. Listen up.
I'm sure the same with Bank of America. At Standard Chartered, we've invested massively in digitization technology. We own 13 different digital banks. We've got 2 of the fastest growing digital banks in the world. The technology is as good or better, I would say, but objectively, it seems to be as good as anybody's technology. And why shouldn't it be? Where we're spending a lot of money, we can attract great talents. We actually understand banking, and we know how to navigate regulatory challenges and obstacles. So where you don't have this agglomerating network effect, which of course is what's benefiting the big US tech companies.
Pay attention who's in the crowd. Okay. Like understand that we are on a whole new frontier. The US isn't even having these types of meetings. We have one per year, and that is consensus, which is still kind of like, it's consensus. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like the real world summits are going down in Dubai, going down in Singapore, going down in India, going down in the countries that are, more open to this. If you're live with me on IG right now, just drop some coffee. It'll make you feel good too. Drop you some coffee, drop me some coffee, and we're gonna continue this video.
Then innovation can happen at full pace. And in finance, it is. And we're obviously part of that.
It's interesting because I speak with bank CEOs, of course, yourself included. We've spoken a couple of times about this now. And the feedback that I get is that this is both a threat and an opportunity. Because when you look at the disruption that happens internally, particularly when it comes to banks plus AI, it's in customer service, it's in risk management, task automation, predictive analytics, even algorithmic trading. So at what point will we actually see a material return from either of your organizations with the implementation of some of these technologies? Are you doing it today? And if not, why not? Do you want to speak to that?
I can start off. Yeah, so we absolutely are using it today. The technology infrastructure that underpins what we do at the scale that we both do it in and others is huge. And so, in the US, we have 70 million retail customers. We have an application called Erica. You can speak to Erica in your car and tell it to pay a bill. You can tell her, you can ask it what your balances are. You can tell her when you ask it when you last had an electricity bill from this supplier. So that's been happening. We didn't call it AI. It was some form of advanced machine learning. Now we want to supplement that. We both have trading applications, businesses. Those businesses render, I don't know, probably, I don't want to guess for Standard Chartered, but somewhere between 4 and 7 billion prices a day that institutions can interact with. And each of those prices has to be accurate, sometimes to 6 or 7 decimal places, right? If you send a tweet out, doesn't matter if you got the spelling right or wrong or the grammar is wrong. And not only has it to be accurate to a millisecond because people make or lose money on those prices that you render, we both have 30, 40, 50 regulators that are looking at each of those, making sure those prices are not disrupting the market, they're not causing flash crashes. We need to make sure that the traders that are interacting with them are behaving the right way. So the scale and technology, and the scale of the technology that underpins us is huge. So we're there. We're highly regulated. So the challenge, coming back to your question, is, for me, what keeps me up a little bit is how do we consume new technologies at pace, right? How do we consume fintechs, new ideas, AI, working with the cloud, when we at the same time have to be super safe with our client money, because the monies that we manage for our clients are super important to them, and to regulators and to market functioning and to all of those things. So we would both, from our seats, like to drive our organizations along, but we're also sensitive when they come and say, we have to be careful.
So we've
All right. So if y'all are enjoying the show so far, because from here on out, it's extremely bullish, right? It's already bullish, but we going even bigger. So check this out, y'all. If you enjoying this, just light me up one time. Just light me up one time. I did decide. Let me come to the front real quick. I decided that I want to, I've made the decision, right? I've spoke the goal, and it's not we have a bigger goal, but a doable goal that I believe can be done is 1,000 millionaires by 2030. If they got a vision, if they have a big vision for 2030, why can't we? Why can't we have a big vision here at Coffee and Crypto? So the goal is to help 1,000 people become millionaires. We did our first 100 in for $100 for the lifetime cohort. And what I want to do is I'm going to release it again for another 100. So if there's anybody that did not get in, because we did end it on Friday, but I went on because, and to be real with y'all, a couple people over the weekend that actually joined, and people probably thought they was paying the 20. I was like, you know what? So to be fair, I just, people were asking, hey, I want to still get into the group, blase. So I went ahead and made it another 100. So we're going to run that campaign again. So if you did not get the opportunity to get into the group, told you all, we're making money on Stronghold. We're making money on Helium Mobile. We're making money this way. We have our Sip and Learn on Mondays. How many people came to the Sip and Learn this Monday? Did anybody show up to the Sip and Learn on Monday? Anybody show up to the Sip and Learn on Monday? Awesome. Cynthia did. Katie did. Miss Katie, could I ask you, because Miss Katie been plugged in. So like for real, like Miss Katie was on a trading call we do on Saturday. It was just her and my mom, and we had a really good time. So could I get a testimonial, Miss Katie? Would you mind just letting, and then we're gonna finish this show out. But before people just slip away, I want you all to hear the value that people are getting, because it really is life changes. I don't know, Miss Katie, if you're in a space or a place that you can share your testimony, but if so, just let me know if you can, and I'll ask you to come up. And if you can't, I can still share, some of the successes that you've been able to have so far. But, if you can, here you are. You can unmute. You should have that ability to unmute.
Hi, can you hear me? Did I unmute? Okay. I've unmuted.
Okay, I can hear you now. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Hi, Vince, and hi, everybody. Hi, Symphony, and bless her. She's the one who turned me on to you, Symphony Dent. So thank you very much. And Vincent, I tell you, I'm a researcher myself. I'm actually an archaeologist, so I do a lot of history research, but the research that you do on this forum is absolutely amazing. I would not have time to do what you're doing, but I just appreciate you so much. And I've only been with you less than a month, but I can't tell you how much I have learned. And not just this crypto, but even your other business I'm involved in. I can just come to tears really, because I'm gonna be honest, in April I'll be 65. So I'm on this whole retirement thing, and I'm thinking, what the heck am I going to do? And Cynthia and I went to Egypt together about a year ago. So, we've been plugged in for a while, and when she's always dropping your information in we have a Wednesday group. We meet every Wednesday and have been for like 15 months.
Oh, wow.
Since we've been back from Egypt. Yeah, so she drops it in all the time. And I just said, let me just go on and, listen to this. And I just can't tell you how excited I am and that I don't have to do all this work alone. I have a group of people that's doing this, doing that, and then I can, bring in my part to help. But you just don't have to do it alone. So I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. I really appreciate that. Because I've seen the growth, and I appreciate what you're doing, and the decisions you make. I didn't even know these things. I didn't know you were about to be 65. I had no idea. So,
Yes,
how would I know? How would I know when that black don't crack? You know what I mean? How would I know when that black don't crack? So definitely grateful to have you here, and grateful that you decided to join us in the Discord. And I just wanted people to just hear. I mean, I could bring up a lot of people. I could bring up a whole gang of people, but I want y'all to hear from someone that's brand new, that has not, did not know me from Man on the Moon, and the type of business that we're doing here at Coffee and Crypto, and just what we're building within the community is something extremely special. And like we said, 1,000 millionaires by 2030. So if you want to be one of them, you can click the link in my bio and all social medias. It's on YouTube, Instagram. Go to that link tree. You'll see, sign up for the Discord, pay the $100, be a part of the next cohort of 100. Okay, because I do believe after this cohort, there won't be a price change. Or there won't be. What it'll be is it'll be locked. So I'm going to work with the first 200 for at least a month. So you want to be inside of that. One of the biggest things that we focus on, again, Mondays is sip and learn. You never know what we talk about. Last night, we had a great conversation. We talked about DPEN, plug people into a couple of different DPEN projects, showed people my portfolios in DPEN and how that's looking, and kind of what my strategy is for these tokens and implementing them in different other assets and areas of my life. We'll have real estate people come through talking about tokenization. We'll have everything on Sip and Learn. Is going to be absolutely incredible. It already is. Okay. Tuesdays and Thursdays, y'all know we're here at Coffee and Crypto. And then give me 1 second. Let me plug my mic back up real quick because I couldn't hear Cynthia. I couldn't hear Katie. Sorry. If y'all can still hear me, drop something in the chat box. Just drop something in the chat box. I want to make sure we still here. Is it recorded in the Discord group? So as far as the no, you have to be, the only things that are recorded typically are like master classes that I do, right? I don't record every single sip and learn. That's too much storage, like I get, look, if I'm gonna be paying for, like, storage is like $100 a month. It's like something crazy. If I'm gonna be doing that, you know what I mean? That's a whole nother phone bill. I got to figure that out. So, so if I can find a different service other than Zoom, then yes, but I can't record everything. My computer is already backed up. So there's a lot of stuff with recording that it takes when people ask if you recorded it or not. It's just a lot to it. I don't want to lose old videos. It's tough. So you just got to show up. I mean, if you're in the group, you got to make the sacrifice, because you know what I mean? Like Mondays, I got stuff to do at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time myself. But I show up and I'm there. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I got stuff to do at 10 a.m. I'm here. You know what I mean? Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we trade. It's called the Mocha Money Circle. This is where you guys can literally plug in to understanding. And we're not trading day trading. Like, we're not focused on day trading. You could take the skills that you learn. You're welcome. You could take the skills that you learn, and you can go day trade. You can trade on the 1 hour, the 30 minute, whatever you want to do. But what I'm focused on in our group is implementing your entry and your exit strategies. So being in the group, if you don't know how you're going to exit crypto, if you got in, but you don't know how you're going to get out, the Coffee and Crypto Discord is where you want to be. Quite a few people have been through at least one bull cycle and bear cycle full. So when it comes to experience, $100 one time, that is a darn good price. So with that being said, y'all, let me show you more of the value that we offer, and why, again, I said that this is one of the #1 crypto communities in the world based on research. Let's get it. So as of yesterday, okay, Visa, this is on their website, so can't make this up. If you're on Instagram and you can't see the entire document, I'm sorry. Trying to figure out how to fix that, but you can join us on the YouTube channel if you're interested. But this article says Visa expands its digital wallet capabilities and availability. Do y'all understand how big that is? Visa commercial play includes virtual card, B2B, which is business to business payment solutions developed to improve cash flow for businesses and reduce outdated manual processes. Since its launch in 2020, it has helped corporates move away from traditional business payment methods to more automated and secure processes, right? Visa's continued innovation and leadership in virtual card solutions comes as a recent report from Juniper Research found that by 2028, global virtual card spend will have increased by 355%, up from 3.1 trillion in 2023. So we're already at 3.1 trillion. So you might as well go up 355% from 3.1 trillion. And that's where we are speculated to be by 2028 in the virtual space. Virtual payments, business to business. This is just B2B. This is not consumer. This is not even retail. It is B2B payments. Now I want to remind y'all of something. Okay, this is on Volante's website, which we know Volante is a major partner with FedNow. Okay, well, they're also a partner with Ripple. They're a partner with Visa. They're a partner with Swift. They're a partner with these three platforms right here. If you go down, you can see. Okay, it says next generation cross-border mechanisms: Swift GPI, Ripple, Visa, Visa Direct, MasterCard Send, and others. Vincent, why is this important? Why are you showing us this? Well, let me show you. Okay, this just came out yesterday as well. Financial institutions standing on thin ice must pivot before it's too late. Cross-border payment volumes have rebounded post-pandemic, and legacy banking systems find it difficult to match the increasing demand for scalability, speed, transparency arising from consumers and businesses. The traditional correspondent cross-border payments experience is no longer acceptable with unpredictable and unconfirmed settlements, variable rates, and final payment amounts that are not consistent with the sender's intention. As a result, a plethora of alternative payment methods are becoming popular. Swift GPI. Let's go back to Volante. What did they say? Swift GPI, check. Ripple. Let's go back to Volante. Ripple, check. Okay, let's go over here. MasterCard cross-border payments. Is that in there? Is it MasterCard in there? Look at that, MasterCard, check. Let's go and look real quick. Visa Direct. Do we see Visa Direct? Are they in there? Visa Direct, check. Oh, VO. You a bad boy. Where are you going with this? Well, they just dropped a brand new article called Beyond Borders, Reaching New Markets, Improving Payment Visibility, and Lowering Costs. As you can see, that was not something on Twitter that was, made up. This is directly on the Finastra's website. This is on Finastra's website. And maybe you ask, who is Finastra? Well, before we even jump into the Finastra article, how about this? How about I show y'all something? Okay. FedNow, which is the instant payments corridor for B2B. Okay. A service provider showcase on FedNow website, which is the Federal Reserve, our central bank. They have Finastra. So will you listen to it now? Now that we got that understanding, will you listen to it? Right. Well, let's talk about it. There's a lot of challenges within cross-border payments, right? A whole lot of them. And you can take a look at that for yourself. Okay, understand that among many issues highlighted by financial institutions, the highest ranked extremely challenging or very challenging issues were compliance and security, high per transaction costs, de-risking, and loss of revenue and market share, right? Okay, so if you pay attention, this is an entire article. Look at this right here, y'all. Solution overview. This is your originating entity. This can be a marketplace, global ecosystem, recruiters, a treasury bank, P2P, okay? But understand that it all starts with the customer. The customer has an originating entity. That entity goes through the channel and they go into what's called a Fusion Fabric Cloud, which Visa Direct Merchant API has a direct API that attaches them to that for that business to send money faster. Okay, understand that now it goes through and we talk about the bank. So the bank will always be in there, right? The bank, because they are developing what's called a central bank digital currency. So understand that the difference between when we go and we look at Ripple's same we look at Ripple's same graph like this, you don't see a bank in the middle. You see bank here, XRP, bank here, right? Sender, XRP, receiver. That's it. Look, they still have all these extra connectivities. So bank is a global pay plus / payments to go. Okay, if you look at this right here, it's still dealing with Visa Direct, obviously, right? So you have the Visa Direct adapters, and this just really goes through. So I really just wanted to show you all that these are the flows of how money gets from customer to beneficiary. And so this is what, solutions like Ripple. This is what solutions, like Hedera. This is what solutions like Quant, are going to be able to offer. Because if you don't know, now you know that Bitcoin is not, it's not listed. Ethereum is not listed. These companies are not looking to work with neither one of these companies, because if they were, they would be on these documents. And the fact that we even have these documents is a blessing, because these are not even documents that the common person outside of a show like this would even know about, so they can protect themselves. This was the 100 and what was it? 76th episode of Coffee and Crypto. I want to appreciate everybody. I do want to take the time to answer any questions. If there's one thing you like, learn to love, I really hope that we got some participation today, because we got a little time left. So I hope we can get some people to come up, get out your comfort zone and just share. Hey, maybe it's your first time speaking on the platform. Maybe, on Zoom. Maybe you develop your leadership capabilities when it comes to that as well. So I'm looking, if there's anybody that has anything to say, feel free to raise up your hand, and I will definitely call on you. And while I'm waiting for anybody, I do want to drop something for y'all real quick inside of at least this Zoom chat. Is there anybody that has not joined the Discord group? Oh yeah, another thing with the Discord group that I want to tell y'all about is you get 50% off. So I have an announcement, and I was waiting, and we actually have full crowd participation. So everybody that's here, I'm excited. Okay. Yesterday or a couple of days ago, while I, I was dealing with a muscle spasm and I was hurting really bad. I had started on my phone writing my next book, right? Whenever life hits me with some type of mishap, I try to figure out, man, how can I make the best out of it? So I've started on my third book. Okay. We'll be done with that book soon, because this book is going to be a very simple, straight to the point guide for people that want to get into crypto. And it's going to be a 6-step process. I'm not going to give you the name of the book yet, because I want to release it, but it's basically going to be how to get into your bag in 6 easy steps. Okay. 6 chapters. That's it. All right. This is going to be a simple book, a quick read, and a guide to help a person really become not just invested in crypto, but really emotionally connected, so that they can stay invested into crypto and know what they hold and really know how to go out and do the research the same way that I do it. I'm going to do a pre-order starting on Thursday. So if you're on the show, you'll be able to take advantage of this. And again, if you've already gotten my books, then this pre-order may not be good for you. Maybe it is. I don't know. But for the price of the new book, I'm going to also throw in both of my old books. So you'll get a 3-for-1 package. So I'm going to do a 3-for-1 package, because at the end of the day, I want everybody to have this information, because we're already rich. We're already wealthy. And the new people that need this information, I want to be able to make sure that y'all can come in, because you don't have much time. This industry is moving fast. So, if you would like to take advantage of that, just drop some coffee in the chat box. I appreciate your support already. I already know that there's quite a few people that would use value from a 6-step book into getting invested in the cryptocurrency, making sure that you're making the right, and making sure ultimately that you have the right exit strategy, right? That's the thing, because at the end of the book, we're going to talk about exit strategies. We're going to talk about these different things. I can't cover everything. That's why it's important. And then I have another announcement very shortly after that. Actually, I'll just go ahead and tell y'all, because I want to just let y'all know. I'm gonna just let y'all know. Check this out. If you want a copy of the book, make sure you DM me as well if you're on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, so that I can know and I'll send everything out to y'all first. But what I will be doing is this, okay? What I will be doing is this. I will be doing also a live, I want to call it a book club. I do want to call it a book club. So, but it's really like a mastermind. So typically my masterminds, for me to mastermind with you about crypto is about $6,000 a year. Okay. Right now my price is $6,000 a year. That's what it's set at. For you to be a part of my mastermind group and for us to work together diligently on your portfolio. Okay. You'll be able to get that same type of feel. It won't be one-on-one. It will be group-based. But in this book club / mastermind group, we're going to cover every single Monday, starting on the first Monday of March. Every Monday for 6 Mondays, we're going to meet for 30 minutes to an hour on Zoom, and we're going to read the book together, right? We're going to read the book. We'll never read the whole book, but we're going to go through some of that chapter. We're going to talk about that chapter. You all will be able to ask direct questions to me about that chapter. I'll be able to answer those questions live about that chapter. We'll be able to dive in. So these are the things that we'll be doing together, y'all. I appreciate y'all. It is now 11 a.m. And I hope that y'all have an amazing rest of the day. And I look forward to seeing y'all at the top. And if you're interested in joining the group, make sure you click the link in the bio, and I'll see you inside the Discord for just $100 for the lifetime.